The Grandmaster this week is Exodus Crash, and the Adept is Mindbender's Ambition. Due to a bug a couple weeks ago with one of its perks, Mindbender's has been swapped with Horror's Lease on Lightblade. The Mindbender's is, it's a shotgun. It definitely fulfills its role as one, but doesn't really have a special place anymore. Especially since it's missing the perks that made it so godly before, and pellet shotguns are also in a worse spot since it was last year. I ended up getting a roll with Slideways or Left from Gold and 1-2 Punch that I kept, and it should lend itself well if you ever need a workhorse solar shotgun. You could also go for autoloading with the detector in the right slot, maybe Pugilist, but then you're using special ammo to recharge it melee, which isn't a trade-off I would make. Incandescent or Swashbuckler for the right slot would be good for general PvE shotgun needs, and if you really want to use this for PvP still, you could go for Snapshot or Slideways and Fragile Focus, but I hardly feel like this shotgun is the best option anymore. There's Barrier and Overload champions in this Grandmaster, so I use Duty Bound for my anti-barrier weapon, Divinity for Overload, and Storm Chaser for my heavy damage. Though I use Duty Bound, I'd recommend a Scout Rifle for this Grandmaster if you're going to use a cheese spot. Arbalist, Wishender, or any gun with adaptive munitions will do good in this GM. This season the anti-barrier weapons are Scout Rifles, Auto Rifles, and Sniper Rifles. Touches, Pointed Inquiry, and Come to Pass are craftable weapons that can roll with adaptive munitions, and a mid-AR2 can also roll with adaptive munitions, but it's not craftable. It is in the general pool though, so you might have a few laying around. There's really no standard options in snipers other than maybe Izanagi's Burden, so use whatever sniper you're comfortable with. It's quite a bit of overloads in here, so you'll want a consistent weapon to deal with them. Divinity is by far the best overload weapon to use, but I know that not many people have it, so another solid choice is the Monarch. The Monarch recently got its intrinsic overload, and because of its poison, can keep overload champions from healing for a very long time. This season, bows, machine guns, and arc grenades have the overload mod, so any bow would do, but I think Trinity Gold makes itself as a strong contender if you're having trouble with ad clear, but it would perform no better than any other legendary bow at stunning champions. Thunderlord is the best machine gun for overloads, but I don't think the trade-off of linear fusion damage for champion stunning is good enough to justify. Also, the mod costs like 6 energy, and it can be quite hard to fit into builds. In this Grandmaster, I was running a Storm Grenade spam build on Titan with Heart of Inmost Light. My subclass setup was Thunder Crash, Thruster, Thunderclap, Storm Grenades. My aspects were Knockout and Touch of Thunder. My fragments were Spark of Resistance, Spark of Focus, Spark of Magnitude, and Spark of Shock. For my combat mods, I had Double Firepower, Elemental Charge, Elemental Ordnance, and Seeking Wells. Also, your arm should be Void to use Bolstering Detonation, and your mark should be Solo to use Bomber. There are Barrier and Overload champions here, so I use an anti-barrier Duty Bound, Divinity, and Storm Chaser, as well as having Surge Detonators to make my arc grenades overload. Other than this build, Titans can use Heart of Inmost Light with any other class for ability spam. On solo, you can also opt for Lorelei or Phoenix Cradle, and on Stasis, you can opt for Hoarfrost Z instead. My friend was a Void Hunter with Omni Oculus helping to keep us alive and being a revive bot. For Hunters, Void is going to be the best on this GM, and they could also use Gyro Falcon or 6 Coyote. I see a lot of Warlocks Well or Rift focus builds, but they're almost useless in GMs because you dice while standing in them anyways. I think Warlocks will find more success with Sunbracers or Starfire Protocol on solo to throw grenades everywhere, or Osmantic Gloves on Stasis for ad control, or even just Nezrak Sin on Void to kill more ads. As tempting as it is to just barrel past the opening, you really can't. The biker dregs are quite aggressive and will kill you in like 3 to 4 shots, even at 100 resilience. Now that doesn't mean you have to kill everything on your way to the lights, you just have to be aware of where the bikers are, and to stay near cover because there's a couple of snipers that will take pot shots at you as well. I find it better to go towards the left and go on the top of the tunnel to avoid the bikers and snipers waiting inside. As for killing the bikers, I'm not sure what the best way is, but I just used my grenades and was even able to punch them a couple of times, but that was more luck than anything else. When I had to fight them, I just tried to stay as mobile and bouncy as possible while shooting at them. However, I usually try to get away and avoid the bikers than actually try to confront them at all. At least one person needs to be on the plate to progress the objective while clearing all the ads that spawn, as well as all the champions here. While nothing is too crazy for the first 3 waves, when we get to the 4th and last wave, 4 overload champions will spawn as well as 2 big solar shielded shanks. I like to stand on the block thing to the right as it gives me a safe angle when stunning the overloads. Being higher up gave me some cover against everything that was trying to shoot me from the ground. The only issue I found with being up here is that sometimes on the last wave a bunch of vandals and overloads will shoot me all at once and kill me really fast. You should try to focus on the 4 overloads that spawn first, because there should be nothing else in the room at that point. If you take a little bit too long to kill them, then it would be better to focus on all the ads that spawned. Once the ads are dead, you should be able to clean up any remaining champions without too much difficulty.
You see that guy?
Who?
Oh, no, never mind. Whoa, what the hell?
I got you. I would slammed him down. Jesus Christ, bro.
That was stupid.
A lot of enemies, man.
Yeah.
Who we fighting?
I don't know.
Who we
That one.
fighting? Okay.
You're back.
Yeah, I see. I love this stone trick. Bro!
What's up?
That's because you let go of the thing.
Oh yeah,
If
I
the
was
bubble
throwing. I was
disappeared.
dodging.
Yeah. Damn. A rare sight.
What?
I like to see him die.
Oh, I thought it was over.
Oh my God.
Hey, get away!
We were like, bro!
There's another light gathering piece and another gang of drug bikers. I wouldn't even try to fight any of these or use my sparrow much. I try to stick to the left side and avoid the bikers as much as possible, and only go to the right to get the final lights. Usually I try to burst down the spider walker as fast as possible with the super and heavy, because it's the only thing locking the door. It's pretty easy with a super as you can break one of its legs pretty fast, but if you don't have one ready to go, you'll have to stand either in front of the walker or to the right of the door away from the giant minotaur. When you're in front of the walker, you're safe from the giant minotaur and the fallen ship, but there's a sniper behind you, but I'm not really sure where they stand specifically, and when you're to the right of the door, you're going to be threatened by the fallen ship till it leaves or you shoot off its guns, but other than that, it's pretty safe. At the boss room, there's a cheese where you can stand on top of a little pot on the roof and be safe from everything. Everyone can go up there if you want, but that'll make the room a little bit slower if you're not running a heavily ability focused build, because you'll eventually run out of ammo and be left with only primary damage. If you're using 100 most light build on Titan or any somewhat self-efficient ability build, you probably won't slow anything down by going up here. If you're going to be going on the floor, then the exploder shank should be your number one focus, because they'll come and electrocute the platform you're on, and once it's electrocuted, you'll start taking constant damage, slowed movements, and you can't jump. That mixed with all the ads around is a quick recipe to die. I recommend staying on the first right side platform so you have a little bit of cover but can still move around if you need to. This is a pretty cool spot behind the box on the first left side platform. There's more cover but you can't really move that much and you can still get electrocuted when not on top of the box. Your focus in the room should be champions, then boss, then ads, then any leftover shanks that won't bothering you in that order. There's only 2 barrier champions in the whole boss room and I think they're on wave 2. There's a couple of pain points in this Grandmaster, them being the biker dregs, the 4 overloads that spawn at once in the plate section, and how open the boss room is. The bikers can be avoided, the 4 overloads can be managed if you're fast or patient enough, and the boss room can be cheesed. This Grandmaster sucks though, and so does mindbenders. It's my insights. See ya.